first thing, Gary, how is Gomis?
Yeah, he's fine. He's coming off the pitch. Actually, he was fine. So talking and himself, he actually wanted to stay on the pitch. So no, it's something that we're well aware of, and it's part of his history. But obviously, he's had all the checks, and we knew that when coming to the club, and all the medical checks, every check that you can possibly do, and it's just part of his life. Obviously, it's to do with low blood pressure, and obviously, you know what.
It just drops like that.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the situation. Obviously, our physios went onto the pitch and then relayed the message, but he was fine, and even like coming off the pitch, he was talking. He actually wanted to stay on the pitch, but obviously, precautionary wise, we have to make sure that we double check everything. But obviously, we're well aware of the history anyway.
It must be a bit worrying when you.
Sorry?
Did he lose consciousness?
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure of that. I have to clarify with the physios, but obviously whether he blacked out or it was anything like that. But no, his history. He's had all the tests. You know, it's something he lives with his whole life, so it's no problems whatsoever. I think it looks worse than what it actually is. You know, obviously.
It looked terrible. Though.
Yeah, it looks. I didn't see it actually, to be honest with you, but
just the whole sort of
right.
situation,
and obviously with the history at this ground as well, and it's a bit of panic more than. But with our medical team and obviously with Baffy himself, we're all well aware of it. And like I said, he's had numerous and every single medical check that you can possibly have, and he's fine. It's just part of his life that he has to live with.
Is this the first incident that he's had?
Yeah, and obviously he's had it before in his previous clubs and stuff like that. So we're fully aware of that. But obviously,
this will sound obvious, but there must still be relief when you discover that he's conscious and he's talking
off
the pitch.
No, of course, and there's always concern, isn't there, when anything like that happens? But the message straight away was that he's fine, and you know that he was talking, and obviously just is one of those situations, and we send him away now just to the hospital, just precautionary, just to double check everything, and like I said, Baffy's fine.
Gary.
Hopefully, yeah. We just obviously clarify it now when we get out of here with the club doctor and everything like that, and see what we do from there, whether we pick him up or he gets his own car back.
Guys, there's some suggestion it happened in the dressing room earlier this season. Is that?
No. Like I said, obviously it's happened at his previous clubs and everything like that. So obviously we're well aware of it. I think the players are all well aware of it as well. So, you know, educating them as well in terms of that situation. But no, like I said, it's just it looks worse than what it actually is, and I can understand the reasons why.
The crowd falls silent given the history.
Of course, and that's understandable, isn't it? But like I said, Baffy was talking straight away on the stretcher. On the pitch itself, before he got on the stretcher, he actually wanted to play on. So obviously you can't do that when that situation happens. You have to obviously bring the player off.
What now for him? Are you going to do more tests, or is it just something that he lives with? Or
no, I think it's part of his life. I've had chats with Baffy personally about it and everything like that. It's part of his life, and obviously you have to. There are precautions put in place and everything like that. But in terms of testing and everything, he's had it throughout his whole life, and we're well aware of that. When we signed him, we were more than aware of that. We've done all our own tests, every single precaution bit that we could do, and it's fully acceptable. So obviously when it happens there are concerns. Of course we're concerned for Baffy, and we want him to be fine, but you know, for Baffy himself, he'll tell you himself, he's more than comfortable with the situation and how to deal with it.
Gary, what does he say it feels like? Does it?
Well, I'm not going to divulge that here, am I? It's a personal chat that I've had with Baffy myself, but how he feels I don't know, because that's never happened to me. So but Baffy is very, very aware of that situation and how he deals with it, and whenever it happens, it doesn't happen that often, to be honest with you, so it's not as if it's happening every day or every week or anything. It just happens throughout his life at certain points, and it is what it is with him, but he's more than comfortable with how he deals with it.
He could play next game.
Yeah, it's fine, like I said.
I mean, he could play next week if you had
no problem whatsoever, and obviously like I said, that's what we were well aware of anyway, and obviously good chats with the doctors and everyone before any of this happened, with his previous history with their doctors and with the doctors that helped checked when we signed Baffy. So
I guess there's a risk involved, but life is about making those sort of decisions, I guess, isn't it? You don't not do anything because of what might happen.
No, and Baffy lives his life how he lives his life. That's why he's a professional footballer. He chose that path, and had the medical side of it come back and dictated that, you know, it was a risk for him to do that, or it was a high risk of that, and then I'm sure that Baffy wouldn't be playing football how he is. You know, it just unfortunately is part of his life, but it's something that he deals with fine. And like I said, it's not as if it happens regularly. It's every. I can't even say how often it's been. So, but no, Baffy's fine. He's a man. He knows how to deal with things. He's very aware, and if anything, he knows himself better than anyone else. So he's had all the best medical advice, all the best checks in the world. So there's no problems.
Did it affect the other players tonight, did you think, guys?
Well, not if you actually look at the game from itself. They actually reacted really well. We actually got the equaliser, and if anything, that first half I thought we played really well, and we could have had a couple more chances. We had a few breakaways, a couple of questionable offside decisions where it could have maybe gone in our favour. Second half, disappointed really, where the 2 goals we made 2 mistakes, and against a team like this, we talked about it before the game and half time that if we avoid the mistakes, we'll be able to have a good chance. And I think actually during that period as well, the first 20 minutes, second half, we actually played well again. So 2 goals set us back. I think we lost a little bit of belief, but then the last 10 minutes again, we got that goal, and that shows you in a split second how a game can change. And if anything, we could have probably got the equaliser at the end.